The sun is hot, the breeze is low. I need a ride. Where do I go? Ride, go, yeah. That's the name. Island roads will never feel the same. Tap the app, just one click. Hopping fast, it's real quick. Right, go where you wanna go. To the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Right, go, let the good vibes show. Fastest growing ride, everybody know.
Tuk Tuk now available on Ride Go. Book now.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Yeah. Yo! Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Ridealong Live for today. It is Thursday. We're live. Yeah. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. We got some breaking news for you. So I want you guys to share. Diane Winter Funday. How are you doing, my dear? Diane, I might need you to call in on this one because this is some serious breaking news for today. Yes, yes. Yeah, we are aware that there also going to be a town hall meeting that's going to be happening. We're going to be carrying it here live, but it's important that we came on live tonight because there are some important information that we think that we should share with all of our viewers worldwide on information that came out just yesterday, right? When all through the media left a lot of people suspicious as to what's the next move, and I think it was important that we give you guys a full idea as to where we are today. All right. Share the thing, share the program, share the program, share the program, share it once, twice, three times. Just share it on. Louis, Monique, thank you so much. Euleen, thank you so much. Diana in the building, thank you so much. It's important that everyone see this program. In fact, we are asking that you, let me do it as well. You click that share button. I'm going to do it as well. We click that share button because we have some information. You know, last night we put a vlog out, and we put a vlog out last night, and a lot of people reacted to it, still reacting to it on the latest breaking news. We're going to tell you all about it, guys. But for now, I just want you guys to share. Just do this for me. Just share it, share it, share it, share it. Share it twice. Share it to every single person. Jennifer Lewis, how are you doing? Thank you so much. After you share, just put I share. Let me big you up and thank you for sharing. After you share, just put I share. I'm doing it myself. After you share, just say I share. Yes, thank you so much. DJ Samson, how you doing? Papa Deso, big up yourself. Thank you so much, Louis, Monique, for sharing. Dexter, you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. Diana Winter Funday, thank you so much for sharing, my sister. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Again, we're going to kind of try to truncate this because we do understand that there is a national press conference that is going to be going on parallel to this program. So we're going to keep it short. Nonetheless, we have to bring you up to speed with what's happening here right now. Right? So here we go, guys. Yesterday, we learned of a breaking news. And let me put on how WPG10 broke that news on social media yesterday. This clip comes to you compliments WPG10. Listen to this.
We are coming on the air this hour with this breaking story that Caribbean News has been tracking in recent days. We can report tonight that the United States is preparing to ask Grenada to allow Washington to deploy on the island what has been described as military assets amidst growing tensions in the southern Caribbean. Multiple diplomatic sources in the region, as well as in Washington, D.C., have told Carib Update News that a formal request will be made to St. George's in a matter of days. The United States is seeking to ramp up its pressure on Venezuela in what Washington has said is its new war against narcotic trafficking, but which critics say is a ruse to advance an American desire for regime change in Caracas. On Monday, a senior U.S. official confirmed that President Donald Trump has called off efforts to reach a diplomatic agreement with Venezuela and instructed his special envoy, Richard Grenell, to cease all outreach. This news follows a series of military strikes on vessels that Washington claims were carrying drugs near Venezuela. Although Trump is reportedly considering strikes inside the South American country, multiple news agencies in the United States say that the president has not yet determined whether to advance his military campaign to a second phase. The pending request to Grenada to have the U.S. deploy so-called military assets here could help with its preparation for the strikes. We have not been able to reach any senior member of the Grenada government regarding their current knowledge of the pending request, and the Prime Minister is out of the country this week in Europe. Grenada could come under intense pressure from Washington to facilitate the deployment, but this, it is expected, will be extremely unpopular in a country that was invaded by United States forces 42 years ago this month. The Grenada government has declared that the Caribbean should remain a zone of peace, and it is not expected that the Dickon Mitchell administration will have any appetite to facilitate such a request. One person close to the government, but not officially a member of the cabinet, when reached late today to be told the news and seek a reaction, said he does not see it happening, declaring that any such facilitation in a place as Grenada would destabilize the state government. This is a developing story that we will continue to follow here at the Carib Update News Service. I am Tahira Burke at the Carib Update News Service News Center.
Thank you there, Tahira Burke at the Carib Update News Center, Hamlet Mark, and the folks there at Carib Update for always staying on top of the news as it relates to the Caribbean. So, guys, there you go. There you go, right? What we reported yesterday, together with other media organizations, is that there is possibly, right, a closer march to some sort of military intervention inside of Venezuela. That's what we're hearing. Seems, as from reports, that it's even closer than a lot of people were initially expecting. Now, we did find out, and we knew from over the past week, there is a huge military buildup inside of or around in the Caribbean Sea. All right, U.S. military assets are stationed outside of Venezuela in that general vicinity area there. We're talking about missile launchers, we're talking about submarine, we're talking about aircraft carriers, helicopters, a lot of assets. We've seen over the past couple days, weeks, that a number of small vessels, fishing-sized vessels, was blown up by the U.S. Marines, all right, or the assets stationed in the Caribbean there. And the push, or what has been said, is that they are fighting, they are there to protect and fight against drug smugglers that make its way in that corridor that somehow makes its way back into the U.S., right? We also learned yesterday of a false flag operation that Venezuela is saying that happened. We have no way to independently verify that. There was a false flag operation reported by Venezuelan news agency yesterday of an attempt to I don't know if I should say that word, because Facebook get very touchy with certain words, but plant explosive inside of the U.S. Building, the U.S. diplomatic building there in Caracas, Venezuela. This attempt, it did not go through, it did not happen, but the reports coming out from Venezuela was a false flag operation to ignite or to initiate the start of military attack inside of Venezuela. So all the attacks that have been going on so far in the Caribbean Sea, it never reached the land of Venezuela. No attack was done inside of Venezuela at this point in time. So yesterday, as the news reported, Caribbean Update News just reported that there was a request by, at the point in time, it was an alleged request that was sent to Grenada to assist the United States, right? To assist the United States where Grenada is involved. So the United States is asking Grenada to host temporary military assets on a rung in the vicinity of Point Saline to aid the U.S. in whatever deployment that they need to access, which means, could possibly mean that a invasion is imminent and possibly close. So, after that news broke yesterday, earlier today, the government of Grenada released a document which circulated through news agencies. I'll attempt to put that up on the screen. Let me see if I could get it. Okay, so I don't have, I do have it. Hold on. Let me get the document on the screen. The document that was sent out earlier today from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And also, I must say that we did make attempts to speak with the Minister of Foreign Affairs earlier today, but we were unsuccessful. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed a request by the U.S. government to host military personnel and equipment in Grenada, right? So this is the official document sent out by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Again, the title header is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed request by the U.S. government to host military personnel and equipment in Grenada. October 9th, which is today, and October 9th, and October in general is a very significant month as it relates to U.S. intervention. We'll talk about that later. The letter went on to say that St. George, Grenada, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development confirmed that a request for the temporary installment of radar equipment and associated technical personnel at the Maurice Bishop International Airport was received from the government of the United States of America. The Ministries of National Security, Legal Affairs, and Foreign Affairs are carefully assessing the requests and reviewing the requests in technical consultation. In coordination with the Grenada Airports Authority and other relevant agencies. At this stage, the government of Grenada is carefully reviewing requests in accordance with established national procedures. Any decision will be made only after all technical and legal assessments are completed. The letter went on to say, we wish to assure our citizens that any decision taken will be guided by Grenada's sovereignty, public safety, and national interests, including the protection of our tourists, industry, the travel public, and the country economic well-being. The government will continue to keep the public informed as development unfolds. That was the official letter sent out earlier today from the Foreign Affairs of Grenada. We did make attempts to reach out to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, but we were unsuccessful. So that's the official correspondent that was alleged to soon be coming into to the government of Grenada. It officially came. The request again from the ministry arrived at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The confirmation request by the U.S. government to host military personnel and equipment in Grenada. I said in my vlog last night, guys, this is scary times. Here we have a situation where Grenada is being placed between a rock and a hard place. This is a very difficult situation. And after I said this yesterday, a lot of people said to me, why are you saying it's a difficult decision? This is an easy decision to make. While I'm talking, guys, I'm going to keep the phone line on the screen. So at any point in time, any one of our viewers, you want to chime in, you could call the number on the screen, 718-701-5720. So yeah, as I was saying, last night's video, the video I did last night, I said that this is a difficult decision for Grenada because we understand what comes with superpower and their requests, right? It sometimes don't even come as a request. It comes as a statement, because what comes behind it or the repercussion of not acceding to the request might be equally as detrimental. We're talking about economic enforcement that could hinder, right? We're talking about, and possibly, I don't even want to say it because you don't want to put that negativity out there, but not acceding to the U.S. request might be devastating for Grenada. Now, if Grenada decide to move forward with the U.S. request, what will that mean going forward, right? This is where we are, guys. So we're taking your calls, we're taking your phone calls, getting your feedback on this. Again, the final request, the official request came in to the National Security and to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Again, we have it there on the screen earlier today. This is a request, and this possibly mean, or could this possibly mean, an imminent attack on Venezuela within the short space of time, within the present, or within a very within as soon as possibly a few days or weeks or possibly hours from now, right? Let's go to the phone. Let's say we got a caller on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
London.
London, go right ahead. You're live.
No, Junior, it's a very, very technical situation, and a very interesting one. Now, my recollection of the Americans invading Grenada, one of the grounds that they used, that Cuba was going to build an Air Force base in Grenada, right? And that was one of the grounds that they claimed that they invaded Grenada, to prevent the Air Force base.
Yes.
Now, why it is known that the same Air Force base that they kick against, right, or they find grounds to come into Grenada to invade, why it is that they want to use that same airport now for an airport base. And I know everybody might, or a lot of people might be thinking, the economic side of it, what's going to happen to Grenada, and they're going to retaliate and stuff like that. But I think that's my personal opinion. I don't think Grenada should support it, or the government of Grenada, government and people of Grenada should support it. I think it's time that the region need to come together, and it's not just about Grenada. I think it's time that the region come together and set some sort of grounds, because we all know when America go into a country, what happened in it.
Right. Yes.
Some people might say, because they just ban me fish, from export, and if we give them that right, maybe we can set up some sort of trade deal with them again to take we fish and thing. But we can't just look at it from one standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I personally feel that the region is not, yes, they asked Grenada, but I think the region as a whole should come together. And, because at the end of the day, we know, who have eyes to see and who have eyes to know that they had their own personal agenda, why they're there, what they're doing, and what is their intention.
Right.
And it's all about taking over Venezuela. It's not the first time that they're trying certain things, and it's when you look at the world, that's basically one of the only countries in the world right now that they had not really gotten into and do anything.
Right. Yesterday I spoke about regime change, right? And my fear in anytime you hear about regime change, you think about places where we saw US or superpower came in to enforce regime change. And what happens then is that we will leave a vacuum.
Yeah.
Right? A vacuum exists, and then it becomes somewhat of a society where there is ungovernable situation. We have a situation in Haiti at the moment.
But look at the Middle East.
In the Middle East.
If you look at the Middle East, I mean, a lot of people do not do research. A lot of people do not read. A lot of people do not find out the facts. They just take whatever CNN or what NBC or what ABC show, or, on TV, and a lot of people don't really do research in it. But if you look at this standpoint in the Middle East, Iraq, all these places, Ethiopia, all them places there, these people was better off. These countries was better off before the American invaded. You understand? Gaddafi, all of these, and people, a lot of things people don't realize and don't research and don't know about. Because anytime you become a threat to America, they look to eliminate you. Sorry to say it. Because when the Middle East decided that they wanted to cut out the middleman, basically accept any currency, who want to buy oil they will accept any currency, right? These are things that they kick against because America don't have any resources. You understand?
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on with how they call him in what's his name? This African,
Yeah.
And look how much time they
Burkina
Faso, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at France and these places. France and them have more so much of the gold reserve, right? Do they have any mines? You understand?
Right.
You look at France, you look at America, you look at England. They have some of the world's most gold reserve. Do they have any mines? Where it's coming from?
Right. Well, we all know where it's coming from. From.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these people, we need to, the West, they need to make a stand. We need to stop being bullied. We need to stop being brainwashed and feel that we always need them. We don't need them.
Yeah.
We don't need them. As them, the colonial system make us feel that we so need them. We don't need them. Because they take more from us than what they give us.
Point taken there, caller. Point taken there.
Thank you for your input. They take it more. They take it more than they give us.
All right. Thank you for your call there, my friend. Keep in touch. All right. Thanks again. 718-701-5720 is my number. We're taking your call on the current situation. I'm seeing the chat as well, and people saying, well, Grenada should not do this. Grenada should not allow. Grenada should be a flat out no on this. Give us a call and give us your perspective on it. All right. Got another caller on the line. Caller live. Where are you calling us from?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Caller, do me a favor. Turn your background down a bit. Turn your background down.
Yes, thanks.
Your TV.
All right, it's done.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead. Where you calling us from?
Grenada.
Grenada, go right ahead.
Right, Junior, you're absolutely correct. We are in between a rock and a hard place. Persons may think that this is an easy call to make for the government, but it really isn't. The sad truth is right now we have a fascist dictatorship in the United States of America. A lot of the American citizens don't even understand that. They can still go to McDonald's and all that and so on, and they think they're in some sort of free society. But if you've been paying attention to the Trump regime, the threats they've made to Canada, the threats they've made to take over Greenland, etc., etc. This is a dangerous fascist regime in the United States. They took out a vessel in international waters in the Caribbean, claiming that it was a cartel vessel. No evidence of such, but they did it anyway. If the United States installs a radar system in Grenada, and there's a war between the United States and Venezuela, that radar site in Grenada becomes a legitimate
Target.
military target.
Absolutely. And that's the point I made yesterday. It becomes a legitimate military target.
Exactly. Now, part of my disappointment, I am very disappointed in the Chinese and the Russians. Well, the Russians are in their own melee in Ukraine and whatnot. But these are the other superpowers who claim Venezuela as a friend. And to not stand up, or at least pretend to stand up with the Venezuelans is just sad.
But we don't know that for a fact that they're not standing up with them. I believe that this somehow could be a situation where you have superpowers among superpowers in a small region, right? Because
it is, but the small region have no political say and no military say.
True.
So we essentially become collateral damage in a conflict like this. It is very sad. We don't have the political sway. We don't have the economic sway. We don't have the military might. Even if people say CARICOM, same thing. CARICOM is a bunch of small islands. We still don't have the power together to fight against the United States. So we are in a diabolical situation with this. Simply because, one, I saw online some persons are suggesting this is an opportunity for Grenada to negotiate. Please.
Negotiate.
There is nobody, not even in the Trump family, can trust what Trump says. You cannot make a deal with a fascist dictatorship. You cannot trust what a fascist dictatorship is going to say. So there is no avenue for Grenada to say make a deal with the US and they give us this in return. There is no guarantee that they would hold up to any deal made in the Caribbean. Secondly, is a pile of mad people now running the government in the US who clearly don't respect sovereignty. So what we're saying is that if the Caribbean islands say no, and the US regime says, we're coming anyway, okay, how do we stop them, right? They have made it a point, the US regime has made it a point to weaken the United Nations deliberately, right? So we don't even have the United Nations to run to say, we're being run over and with no consequence. So at this moment, you are absolutely correct. This is not a simple matter. This is a terrible situation for Grenada, Trinidad, CARICOM. They have disrupted the zone of peace, which is the Caribbean region right now. Fishermen in Trinidad are afraid to go out on the waters, to be mistaken for Venezuelan vessels and be taken out from a drone strike. Imagine that, right? So next, the Grenadians now would be afraid to go out and fish. So the cruise ships are going to cancel their runs to the Southern Caribbean in November and December. So it saddens me, but I knew it all along, Junior. I said the election of Donald Trump in the U.S. again is the most dangerous thing for the Caribbean since the election occurred. It's just playing out now. But when you elect mad people with no morality and no integrity, and you put them in charge of mighty military assets, this is what you have. So I'm calling on the American people to stand up come the next midterm elections, reclaim the House and the Senate, and get this madman out of office. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much for your opinion there, caller. 718-701-5720. We got another caller on the phone line. Let's go to the phone line right now. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, good evening. I'm calling from Boston.
Boston, go right ahead. Yes.
So, Junior, I'm going to piggyback from what this guy, the last caller, was saying, right? So, we know the T word, he's a crazy person. And he don't like to take no for an answer. So, just in case the government of Grenada say no, he's going to try to still come in anyway, right? So, let us even try to make a deal with him and use it to our advantage.
What deal? What deal? What deal you think that could be made?
Remove the tariffs. If they use the airport and God forbid anything happens, sign an agreement that they will rebuild it. Give back Cornwall. I'm just saying, because Junior, either way,
listen, I'm laughing because listen, I don't see a deal. I don't see any kind of deal. I don't see an attempt should be made to make a deal or a promise, because these people and them don't keep any promise. If the airport damage, they go in and you see entire land countries get damaged. Do you think after the fact they would help fix up the place? Listen, this is a far-fetched imagination. It's not going to happen.
So what if we say no and he still do it? Then we're still between Iraq and Donald Trump.
Yeah. I don't think that we could think about any deal. I don't see a deal. I don't see, okay, if the airport get damaged, then you should fix it. I mean, or give Cornwall back his passport or the fish. No.
Right. Make it easier for Grenadians to get a visa.
But I heard somebody said that this morning, all right, on a radio station.
Right,
and I had to laugh, because even when you say, okay, let Grenadians or people from the Caribbean make it easier to come to get a visa, when they come to the United States under a visa, what happens? Look how much people getting deported left, right, and center, thrown all over the world, places that they don't even live, they're getting deported to. That's not a favorable place.
Junior, you have a special visa from Grenada. You're a Grenadian. You're not going to get deported. Sign some kind of deal. Because again, like I said, if you say no, he don't like no, he's probably going to do it anyway. So at least try to make a deal. We still going to be between Iraq and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Deep down in my heart, I want them to say no. But then I know there's going to be maybe consequences. I see somebody say, let's pray. Okay, that's all we could do. Let's pray. Just remember, the U.S. dollar is more than a naira. So a lot of people say we got Africa. No. We don't have ammunition. Were we going to fight with cutlass?
I call it. Thank you so much for your input. I appreciate your input. Let's go back to the phone line. We got another caller on the line. Caller on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Oh, good evening, Junior. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Junior, I don't understand something about Donald Trump. It's like Donald Trump is just like a roaring lion, such a big bully. What Donald Trump want to do with little Grenada? So Junior, I want to ask a question, right? So when they want to use the airport, how most of the time when they have military stuff, it's always something private, right? So what's going to happen, like people who want to come to Grenada, how are they going to use the airport?
Yeah. And the caller made a good point earlier, right? Because if you put a radar system, that becomes a target, right? That becomes a target. And believe it or not, don't believe Venezuela don't have the ability or don't have what it takes to fire off as well. Venezuela do have a military, a substantial military. The size of the military is bigger than the entire population of Grenada, about 1,000 times. Over 1 million. And Grenada don't have a population of 110,000 people the most, right? They have the reinforcements, they have the power. And if you have a radar system that is in a vicinity area, it becomes a legitimate target. So that means if that is the case, and that happens, then we could potentially see incoming from whatever direction because it is a military target. That is the fear. That is the fear.
And the thing about it was why Grenada is so much in Donald Trump's fingertip, because it's like, first is get rid of the Cubans. Grenada go against him. Now he ready to do that. So many other countries in the Caribbean, but he's only on Grenada. I don't understand. 1983, America in Grenada, big invasion. Now again, 2025 again, Donald Trump in Grenada again. Donald Trump is fighting everybody, and once you stand up to Donald Trump, you will become a target. I'm so scared for Grenada. I'm scared for my home.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, we don't even know what kind of decision the government could make. Because anything you time you go against those people and them, you become a target.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Thank you, caller. We appreciate your input, all right? Yeah. Yeah, guys, this is not an easy decision. I keep seeing people saying, well, this is a straight up no. The government of Grenada, and for the people who are saying it, the people, let me just send a number here. Yeah, the people who are saying it, I want you to explain. Because this is not an easy decision that Grenada would just say, no, hell no, nothing like that happening. There have to be a lot of diplomacy in that decision, although I know that would be the position of Grenada. But what about economic sanctions? What about America being the number one source market? What about all these airlines, the JetBlue, the American airline, the Delta, all these flights that come into Grenada, they are essentially American companies. And these American companies, hold on. Let me put this caller through. Caller, you live? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, caller. Hi. You're live on the air right now. Ridealong live.
Nice to be here, Junior. It's it's a tough one. It's a really tough one because in any negotiation, you got to know what kind of leverage you have.
Yes.
You can be in a negotiation and not know your leverage. So Grenada need to know their leverage at this point. The other thing is that you have to know who you're negotiating with, because in every negotiation, you have to make an assessment as to how credible the person you're negotiating with. In other words, would they keep their word in the negotiation?
Absolutely.
And I heard somebody said, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Absolutely. Would they keep their word in the negotiation?
Exactly. I heard somebody said, oh, let's negotiate with him. And if this legitimate target that Grenada Airport becomes, he would, let's ask him to repair it. That we don't, the way this guy has been somebody that is known to not keep his word, known to lie, why should we believe him here? It's different. I don't understand why we could possibly even entertain believing anything this guy said. That's one. But additionally, I heard somebody speak about, leveraging a relationship with Africa. And that's a whole different topic. That's a whole different topic for another day. In terms of Grenada's alignment with Russia and China, I don't know. Didn't China build something in Grenada recently? Who built the stadium?
Right, China.
China built the stadium.
Right. Yes.
Right now we gonna need some strategic alignment to help make this decision. Somebody said before that we're in between a rock and a hard place, and we are. We really are, because let me just summarize that if we say no, there are going to be repercussions.
Yes.
They're going to be. So we have to figure out what we could handle. And if we say yes, then, Venezuela is right there from us. They're not very far. They're going to keep that in their mind. So let's, in whoever is in a position to make that decision, which is the Grenada government, I hope they would consider all the options.
Yes.
Because this is a difficult one.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you. It's probably one of the most difficult decisions. And it's not as easy as some people say. Just say no, that can't happen here. That's not going to happen here. Listen, that is not how you approach this negotiation. And I think that the government understands that. It's a difficult negotiation in that decision. Thank you, caller, for your input. We got another caller on the line. We lost that caller. Again, 718-701-5720 is my number. Give us a call live on air. Let us know what's on your mind, what's your thoughts on this. Again, guys, we're reporting on this breaking news story from yesterday. We followed up on it that the U.S., it was alleged at that time, that the U.S. is requesting permission from Grenada to install personnel or military assets, equipment in Grenada. Well, the letter came in today officially and was posted on the social media of the government. Says that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and confirmed the request by the government of the U.S. to host military personnel and equipment in Grenada. And that is in response to what we've been seeing happening over the past couple weeks. Taking your input, taking your calls live on air. You could call straight or you could call via the WhatsApp. Again, the number is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Also looking at your chat. All right, Samantha, Junior, all you fail to realize this thing is biblical. The Bible talks about the small nation that will rise up and be mighty. Okay. Again, we're taking your call, 718-701-5720. We got Evelyn saying, if Grenada says yes to the U.S., if Grenada says yes to USA, wouldn't that affect Grenada's relationship with China? So you just have to understand the magnitude and the difficulty of a decision, right? Any decision that is made is damn if you do and damn if you don't. Somebody said we should stop talking about it because the more that we talk about it is the more that they realize, or the more action that possibly will be realized. How repercussion, and we got families buried and living in Venezuela. Keep the calls coming in, guys. Keep the calls coming in at 718-701-5720. We want to hear your input on this topic right here, this breaking news topic. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Yes, I'm calling from Grenada.
Grenada, go right ahead.
Yeah, I've been following this thing, and to be honest, Junior, it's a difficult position our government is in to decide if to say yes or no to the American government. But I would say personally, the government should say no based on America's history with all the wars they've been involved with so far, and they want to put us at war with our neighboring country. Venezuela was supplying gas to Grenada at a reasonable rate at one point. So we being at war with Venezuela based on our...
Well, we're not being at war. We're not going to be at war with Venezuela. So it's not Grenada being at war with Venezuela. It's America having... I don't know if it might seem like that, but by having military assets stationed in Grenada, it might come off, but Grenada would not be sending in any RRU, SSU, or any sort of policing in attack in Venezuela. That simply would not happen. It's just the placement of asset and the use of the ground to store military assets for the United States. Which that
Yes,
yeah.
but yes, but storing military assets makes us a big target. And when you're living in the country that would actually these events would be taking place and your family would be in danger, it's very hard just to accept the fact that the storing military assets, that is one step to being at war. Technically, you don't know you're at war, but you could be bombed at any moment in time.
Absolutely.
Your family, your friends would be in danger. So it's in my personal opinion, and as a Grenadian citizen living in Grenada, 24/7 can't run out of the country. It should be an absolute no for Trump because based on his track record, because look what he did to Iran. He gave a go ahead to bomb Iran and like that went under the table. So when we look at this guy's track record, we cannot, as a small country, sit back and say, yes, we want to be in war with our neighboring country. Technically, we're not sending our people, but technically, our people could be killed from a bomb from Venezuela because we have the American military assets on our soil.
Okay.
So we as a people need to look at this in depth before they can make a decision, and the Prime Minister and his cabinet need to come out and have a public forum with the people before any decision is being taken, because we are a small nation and we have nothing to protect ourselves.
Right. Thank you, caller. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah. 717-015-720. That's our number. We call in live and put your voice on record to this. And I want to reiterate that, right? And I know what the caller said. I understood exactly what he said and what he's saying. By having military assets on your soil, it's like you are apart. But Grenada is not at war. Grenada enjoy a great relationship with Venezuela up to a day like today. Grenada has stated publicly that this zone, this Caribbean area, is a zone of peace and should maintain its zone of peace. For the people who are saying that it should be a flat out no, right? The question that I have for you is, are we ready for the economic backlash that may come out of this? Again, it's easy to say, no, this is not what we're about. This is not what we stand for. Let me take this call and put it on hold still. This is not what we're about. This is not what we stand for. And we will not be a part of this. But are we ready for the economic backlash that might come as a result of that decision? Got a call on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Hi, good evening, Junior. I'm calling from Canada. I'm a Grenadian living in Canada.
Hi, Canada.
And I must say, this is a very tight situation. I'm a child of the revolution. I've been through it with America. We have lived through it and we know what they are. But Grenada at this point, in my opinion, is between the rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
What I can say, this decision that the government has to make can put them in a very compromising position.
Absolutely.
And what I can say, the Prime Minister and his team has to be very, very careful with the decision they will finally make. I personally is looking at it, Donald Trump, we know, is a dictator. We know America is a dictatorship country. They only go to reap when they never sow. They never helped Grenada in any way to develop besides the little minor they give, or they take more, because they have milked our country of the brains that we have in building our own country. But what I can say, my little 2 cents can say, my Prime Minister is striving. He has seen a growing country. He's not stupid. America is not stupid. They're looking at the way Grenada is developing. Our Prime Minister has just been in Venezuela. making friends with the Caribbean nations.
No, the
spreading
prime
us
minister
up.
was not in Venezuela.
Yeah, he made they made friends. Grenada has reaped so much from Alba.
Recently,
And
I know there was a publication that went out that said that the prime minister was in Venezuela, but the prime minister was not recently in Venezuela. At the time when that came out, it was some sort of propaganda. At that time, the prime minister was at the United Nations, so he was not in Venezuela
okay.
at that
So you
point.
see the propaganda that is outside there, right? So Deacon Mitchell has to be very careful. It can make or break his government. It can make or break Grenada. And I would pray, and I hope my country and all the prayer warriors within would continue to pray for this government that is developing us and bringing us worldwide. That is my input, Junior.
Thank you so much, caller, for your input. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Let me reiterate that. I know that there were opposition forces that said that Grenada, a government, was currently in Venezuela, merging some sort of peace deal. That was not true. That at that time, the prime minister was at the United Nations. All right. So that was not true. What Grenada said in a publication is that they should maintain that the Caribbean region should maintain itself as a zone of peace, right? But the prime minister was not in Venezuela at that point in time. Let's go back to the phone. And we got a call on the line. Caller, live. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, London again. Junior, no, we get into the economic backlash of things, right?
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, as I said before, the region, Grenada got to get the region involved. It's not just a decision Grenada have to make. I think they had to get the region involved, right? Now, Venezuela is our neighbor, one. Two, when you look, Venezuela and China, Russia, they're allies. Now, when you look at the things that the development that take place in Grenada for the past couple of years, no, China did, although yes, we have to pay them back, but China invested more in Grenada than the Venezuela did after the revolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. basically destroyed everything in Grenada after the revolution, right? So, and this is the thing that I always blame a lot of these Caribbean countries, you know, in the region. They based everything on the income or the GDP on tourism. You understand? And I've been always saying it. Let a pandemic break out or something break out or the embargo, you know, you don't side with them, then there's a problem, you know, they create embargo on you. You know? I mean, Cuba is a testimony of what America creates, right? But I think the region as a whole need to come together. I mean, I see them make a step the other day, getting a few countries involved with free movement. And I think more Caribbean countries need to sign up, you know, and create a stronger union.
Right.
You know, because we need to put our foot down. We need to. We cannot just keep dealing with the bulliness. You understand? When are you going to stop?
Right.
You know, and if it means sacrifice, we have to make that sacrifice and put our foot down.
Yeah. But let me say this, that America's footprints in Grenada and the Caribbean region is more than just in tourism. It's more than just in tourism. If you look at the St. George University, the St. George University accounts for probably about 40-something% of the GDP of the country, right?
Yes.
That's a big chunk. If you look at foreign exchange, just the source market for everything, from food, the food that we eat, heavily dependent on America. If we look at air travel, most of the flight that comes in to Grenada are United States-based airlines. You have the JetBlue, the American Airlines, the Delta, those companies. And if you have an embargo, if you have a full embargo, which we don't expect, and we hope that it doesn't come to where we have anything like that. But all of this stuff could be affected. So it's not primarily tourism.
Yeah, yes, Junior, but at the same time, they need us just the same. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say to you. And this is the brainwash that they keep brainwashing us and make us feel that we need them. Yes, we need them, but at the same time, they need us as well. You understand what I'm saying? They need us just the same, or even more. This is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Establish. Tell me how. And I get what you're saying, but tell me how you figure that they need us more at this point in time.
Look at a typical example as Cuba, right?
Right.
If Americans have to go to Cuba, they cannot fly from America to Cuba, right?
Right.
They have to go to Jamaica or some other neighboring island. There's no direct. I think it's just lately a few ships, maybe cruise ships, may start going there and stuff like that, but with restrictions and stuff like that, right? But what I'm saying to you is that we, as a Caribbean Union, right? America definitely. Now, if they create embargo on the Caribbean, right? There is things that we have that they need, right? As much as they may create all kind of embargo, they need us just the same. They need products, we produce. They need stuff as well.
Right. No. I'm not saying that they don't need our produce. I'm not saying that they don't need the products that we provide, but their GDP is not even, or export is not even a percent of the GDP. So although they need and they want what we have, they like our mangoes and they like our bananas and those type of things, but it doesn't equate to even 1% of their GDP. In opposite, if you flip it around the other way, if we're saying that 40% of our GDP relies on these source markets, if you put it on a scale, you kind of see the position that we're in. We cannot live without this. No, it is good that we're forging alliances with Africa and these other places. Within our own Caribbean region, there could be more synergy in terms of import, export, and those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not going to happen in the snap of a finger. This is not going to happen overnight. It is a process. We are heavily dependent on the U.S.
Yes, but okay, now, when are they going to stop? Are we going to still keep? We have to make some sacrifice somewhere in it.
Absolutely.
So are we going to keep, taking the separation and always can't say no?
Right. It's a process. We need to win our dependence. We need to win our dependence.
Exactly. So
and that's when we're talking about agriculture. When we're telling people, the young people, agriculture and all this thing, and they don't want to go in the land, they don't want to get their hand dirty.
Exactly.
And they see agriculture as a poor man thing, right? I remember when I used to go to school back in the day, and I go into school with my provision and dumpling and saltfish and things, there's a laugh at you. But if you come with macaroni pie and stewed chicken and all this kind of American dishes, you like you're highfalutin, as they just call it. You're highfalutin. You see?
But you see, and that's what I'm saying. It's like we so adopted by the West. We so brainwashed by the West that it's like everything, they do. It's like a cancer in it. And it's people are so manipulated by everything come out of America and it's getting worse. You understand? But we have to make a decision. The people need to open their eyes and make a decision, because they will come a point that we can't say no. You understand?
Right.
We have to make a decision, and that they open up doors to Africa and these places and stuff like that, and it makes a big difference, because no, listen. And then I was young during the revolution and stuff like that, but a lot of things that I realized and read and analyze and who have eyes to see and who have ears to, and who know and know. I mean, this thing is started from no, innit? And America know that, some of the policies that Bishop was going to implement, yes, he had his ways and what. If nobody's perfect. But a lot of the things that Bishop was fighting for, no, they know why, as I always say, they know why they did what they did, innit?
Right.
Because they had their, they see things and they have their. Grenada is one of the most important island in the Caribbean because of its location, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have Cuba and you have Grenada. Now Cuba was friends with Russia, right? As they say, it's communist. Now, if you had Grenada as a next Caribbean island that has Russia influence, you have Cuba influence, it block out America from, because the last point in America is Florida, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's people just looking at it, they're not looking. Listen, this thing is bigger than Grenada, yeah? This thing is bigger than Venezuela. And there's a lot has to do with control. Right?
Yes.
And as I said, Venezuela is like the second world producer of oil. And Venezuela is the only country in the world America never really got to. I think them is about the last country in the world that they need to get to. And this is their time, isn't it?
Right. Well, let's see.
No.
Let's see. Hopefully, good sense prevail. Caller, thank you so much. We appreciate your input. 718-701-5720. We're going to take some more calls on this. Again, guys, we are covering the breaking news that the statement was officially sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that confirmed the request by the U.S. government to host military personnel and equipment in Grenada. The government is saying that they are confirming the receipt of this document, and the Ministry of the National Security, Legal Affairs, and Foreign Affairs are currently assessing the request and reviewing the request in technical consultation in accordance with Grenada Airport Authority and other relevant authorities. At this stage, Grenada is saying that the government of Grenada is carefully reviewing the request in accordance with established national procedures, and any decision will be made only after a technical and legal assessment is complete. This is no way stating that the government is prepared to say yes or no. This statement doesn't tell us the government decision on this. They're saying that we wish to assure our citizens that the decision that will be taken will be guided by Grenada's sovereignty, the public safety, and national interest, including protection of our tourism industry, the traveling public, and the country economic well-being. And that says a lot, sort of the thinking, right? Because Grenada understands that absent of the tourism sector, it is a devastating blow to the economy. Grenada also understands that next week, Thursday to be exact, will be the start of the cruise ship season. Now, we can't start to talk about the amount of economic development, the amount of foreign exchange that pass through micro businesses, small businesses, and the entire economy of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. When we have cruise ship, sometimes 5, 6, sometimes as much as 10,000 people, with 2 cruise ships pulling up at St. George's, right? And people all over the place. We're talking about taxis. We're talking about cars. We're talking about tours. We're talking about the person who sell spice in the market. We're talking about people who sell basic, just everything. Everything. The economy gets a major boost. What will happen if the cruise ship find that it's too dangerous to navigate these treacherous waters? What happens then? Because that is in very close proximity. Would the ship take the risk? Would these cruise ships take the risk of a possible imminent attack on one side and they're traveling through the waters on the other side? Grenada understand that this could be a devastating blow to the tourism. So it is said that they're looking at it in accordance with and carefully reviewing the request in accordance with established national procedures, and any decision will be made after all technical and legal assessment is complete. And they also wish to assure the citizens that the decision would take and be guided by Grenada's sovereignty, public safety, and national interests. National interest. This sticks up in there. Kind of give you the mindset of where they're going with this, including the protection of our tourist industry. This says a lot to me. This says a lot. The protection of the tourist industry. And we have where the national airport, where that is located. They understand that if there is military intervention, that regular vessels or airplanes, passenger airplanes, would not take the risk of flying in to Maurice Bishop International Airport when there is potential military intervention happening and there are equipment on that airport of military grade, right? So this says to me, this says a lot, sort of the thinking. When you're really, really true, this kind of says a lot about the thinking and the consideration that is going into a decision, especially the last paragraph where you say, wish to assure the citizens that any decision taken will be guided by the Grenada's sovereignty, public safety, and national interest. So they have to take into consideration the national security, right? National security, and also the protection of the tourist sector. Got another caller on the line. Caller, live, where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Maryland. Junior,
Hey.
I want to say something
Uh-huh.
that we have a sovereignty, and careless of the tourism sector or not, I don't think Grenada should ever allow the United States imperialism to rest foot on the soil anymore. It is on condition. That's my personal view. I'm not speaking from any personal anybody, but I think that we should realize the world is changing, and we have to go with the changes. That the world is being dominated by this US dollar too much. And the world need to put a stop to it now.
Right.
It's not just Grenada. I think Grenada is on the right path. The Caribbean is a zone of peace, and let it remain a zone of peace. Neutral. We're going to have hardship. We're going to have tourism falling. Because if even we give them the right away, it's still going to fall. Because the ships got to travel around. You know how the Caribbean is situated. And I definitely believe that the world should stand up now and say no to imperialism. Enough is enough. The people of the world has been suffering because this dollar trade with China, if you don't support me, because look at the Grenada embargo, because we have hydrocarbon.
Well,
and look at the pressure
they are saying that is a possibility. I think the press conference is going on right now. We're going to switch to that in about 5 minutes. But they're saying that there's a possibility. They have not yet confirmed the amount and the location of this hydrocarbon.
Yeah, but if you look at it, look at the pressure Guyana is going through now, and look at the percentage of what they are getting out of the oil deal, 2%.
Yes.
It's just an exploitation. And people at the world need to put their foot down. There's going to be hardship, but people got to band the belly now, man. Look at, as they said, Grenada give a Nigerian and a Russian company the oil to drill. And look at Grenada. Technically now, we've been faced with marine embargo. We've been starting to face small technical things. So that's only a scapegoat. Just as how they did it in 1983. Use the Maurice Bishop and Bonacco situation to exploit the Grenadian people and invade Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the people should open their eyes. Yes, we're going to face it, but we're going through a new world order now, and I think the world needs that change.
Right. Very,
people
very
has been
valid point.
dominating under one system for too long. People has been dominating under, where is our sovereignty? We still staying allegiant to who? King Charles?
Yeah.
People who have exploited our resources for years.
Yeah.
What is the development of Grenada still after they have exploited our resources for years, after slavery to now? The emancipation we call it for reparation. But what reparation? The reparation is to seize St. George's University School of Medicine. And this thing they have on the Point Island Airport, calling the monument, it is a dagger, it is a knife in the back of the Grenadian people, making them know that imperialism is in fully control, that the Monroe Doctrine is in control. And we don't want to be governed by that. This thing on Point Island Airport should be blown up. Should be loaded with TNT explosive and blow it up.
All right.
This is how this represents imperialism, have a dagger in the back of the Grenadian people. It represents that we are controlled under the Monroe Doctrine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I understand.
Good.
Thank you so much. A lot of passion there. Guys, you see, that is why we're saying that this is not an easy decision. And I know that a lot of people are saying that, as I said earlier, the government should just say no and that's it. But are we ready to ban our belly? If you are ready to ban your belly, let's go full in, right? If you're ready to ban your belly, if you're ready to lose or be prepared of the possibility of 50 to 60% of GDP loss, then if you are ready, let us go, right? But this is not an easy decision. This is a tough decision. This is damn if you do, damn if you don't. And the government, as they said here, that they are exploring and looking at all aspects and angles of this. They wish to assure the citizens that the decision taken will be guided by the Grenadian sovereignty, public safety, and national interest, including protection of the tourist industry and traveling public, right? So you could kind of see where they're going with that already. All right, guys, I want to give enough time so folks could go back and check out the press conference that is happening right now, the annual press conference. So let's take a quick commercial break. I got some final closing words, and we'll be right back. Don't move. Ridealong live.
There's a new way to move in Grenada. Ride Go. Ride Go is here. Ride Go. Where do you want to go?
As we play the Ride Go ad, a lot of people still don't know what is Ride Go. So let me just quickly explain. Ride Go is our let me check out this thing right here and put up this. Yeah, so Ride Go is our new rideshare app that we're asking you guys to download. I know you guys are familiar with Uber, you're familiar with Lyft. Ride Go is sort of similar to Uber and Lyft, right? So you're sitting at home and you need a taxi, you're in Grenada, you need a taxi, or you might be in the US or Canada or wherever, you need to send a taxi to a family member. You download Ride Go, and now you could send a taxi, you could request a taxi to go straight to your loved one, or come to you. You might want to party tonight and you need a taxi. You need Ride Go. It's just like Uber. If you used Uber before, it's the same thing, right? There are over 120 drivers on the road right now. Taxi drivers that's 2-3 minutes away from you, right? So download Ride Go right now in the App Store. If you have Android, you can get it on Android. You can get it on Apple. Download Ride Go. And in fact, in any point of the program, when you download Ride Go, let me know that you download Ride Go, and I got a special gift for you. All right. So go into the App Store and search for Ride Go. Let me put the link there. Let me put a link there for Ride Go. Where is my link? Where is my link? Oh, there is it. There it is. All right, click the link and select your device, whether it's Android or Apple, and download Ride Go. And the taxi is coming to you. Yeah, the taxi is coming to you.
On Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X, you cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Yeah, guys, again, we got to thank our viewers for sharing this program here today. Again, we have to send you off to the national press conference that's happening right now. It's on Ridealong page. You can check it out. But before you go, I want you guys to check out Ride Go. Download the app. Click that link and download the app for Ride Go. You're going to need it, guys. You're going to be in a situation. You're going to need a taxi. You're going to need a car. Family member going to need to get to somewhere. And that's how you do it. Ride Go. Download it in the App Store. It's RYDEGO. The logo is right on the screen there. It's a black app with white writing. It's Ride Go, spelled just like how it's there. Download it and don't keep it as a souvenir. Ride Go, RYDEGO. Download Ride Go now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program, guys. On behalf of all of our production team at Ridealong Live. Hey, Nicole, we just see you. Nicole, we see you sign up. We see you. All right. Thank you, Nicole. On behalf of all of our production team at Ridealong Live, our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, thank you so much. Holding down the fort. As always, catch you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for watching Ridealong Live. Catch you guys tomorrow. Good night.
The sun is hot, the breeze is low. I need a ride. Where do I go? Ride Go, yeah. That's the name. Island roads will never feel the same. Tap the app, just one click, hopping fast. It's real quick, right? Go where you wanna go, to the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Right, go, let the good vibes show. Fastest growing ride, everybody know.
Tuk-tuk now available on Ride Go. Book now.
There's a new way to move in Grenada. Ride Go. Ride Go is here. Ride Go. Where do you want to go?